Hello, divine creators. Welcome to Dumela Universe. We are Velastri. Thank you so much for joining us. It is time for a tarot reading. Let us see what Spirit would like to share with us today. Beautiful beings. We have uploaded the collective weekly reading for the 24th to the 30th of July. We will be working on the Leo season readings later, but we are working on the Lionsgate reading, the Lionsgate portal from the 28th to the 12th of August. So we'll be doing the reading for the Lionsgate portal at this time, and it should be up on YouTube later today. So have a look out for that powerful energy. And yes, we trust you're all beautiful and you're all well and you're all doing your best to simply be authentic, be your truth, align with your truth. That is really all the work that's required at this time. We are not really meant to know the outcome. It's meant to be the frequency of the unknown in order for you to discover, in order for you to align to your destiny. This is the path your soul wishes to manifest in the physical. Thus, you cannot know it. You cannot have a fixed idea. It is for you to discover this path, to explore it like a newborn babe, exploring the world anew and discovering that which you are without the conditioning, without the illusion, without the propaganda, without all of that restriction and programming. So yes, it is a little bit in the unknown energy, but the vision is becoming clearer. We're receiving from Source. You're receiving a divine clearing in your third eye, in your crown chakra, for your vision. For the vision is now aligned within Source, no longer aligned within the illusion, no longer aligned with the parameters you thought you needed, the physical ways in which you required a response in order for validation or for you to feel, a hold on things. So it's not these physical pointers, but rather a vision of Source, a vision from your soul, a deep knowing, a clarity. It's beautiful, and it's so unique to each and every single one of you, how this knowing, how your path unfolds. And the only way for you to align to these energies is by you being authentic, by you being truthful. That is the only key ingredient required. You are the only key ingredient required in all spaces at this time. So please just allow yourself in all spaces to be you, to be present, to be love, and witness how people around you are now open to it, how people around you are allowing it, how you feel more accepted in these spaces where in the beginning we felt quite uncertain and not really safe. Now you are finding yourself being welcomed and being appreciated, for you are shifting frequencies, dimensions. The reality in which you're creating and is shifting for you at this time, and the way for it to shift to a place where you are happy is by you being the point it shifts. You're always the point it shifts to. So by you being authentic, you allow the reality, you allow all the energies to shift to you. So be within divine precision, your truth at all times, which is simply being and existing and loving. And you can't get it wrong. There's no way you can get it wrong. All paths are right, for all paths are learning. We are simply encouraging you to allow yourself to learn through love. Learn through the frequency of love. Learn through the frequency of your existence. Okay, let's pull some numerology and see what's coming through at this time. Look at this, the 7 of diamonds, which is the 7 of pentacles. And 7 is all about that higher spiritual balancing, your soul balancing. And that is where the work is, that opening message, really speaking to this. That's where the work is to be done. You. Anything that's not aligning your existence, that's not true to you, release, letting go, purging, just letting it go. You're really detoxing all other energies, no longer taking energies and connections and responsibilities which aren't aligned to you, and really doing a deep cleanse of that which isn't aligning to your existence, to your truth, in order for you to be that precision point of Source, that authentic being you are, in order for everything to balance to it, right? This is the pentacles. The physical is now to honor you and it can only honor you. It always honors you. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about your truth, your existence. The physical always honors you. It reflects you. It's the mirror realm. It's how you learn that which you are. And the only thing that's required is you releasing the mind, which is programming you to be something you're not, and centering, releasing the conditioned heart, programming you to be attached to things which do not exist, which already do not serve you, but rather to allow yourself a tempering, a balancing through source, healing the mind and heart to source. Thus now the mind is aligning and is feeding you, is receiving and feeding you, inspiring you through source, nourishing you through source. And the heart is exploring and loving you and also feeding and nourishing you through source. So that is where the work is right now. That's the only work you need to do, and that's what's happening right now. A divine spiritual balancing where all that doesn't align with you, all that doesn't align to your existence, okay? And it's important that you understand you are your existence, you are source. And so everything is balancing to source, to your existence. But in this world, we have been conditioned to believe we're another being. So sometimes what we think we want is not what is actually source. And this balancing is to source, not what you think you want, not what you think you are. And that is when sometimes you hold on to something longer, not wanting to let it go because you think, but this is what I want. And it's also saying, it's what you're being conditioned to want. And it feels weird because it feels good, but it's literally a result of everything you released that felt bad because of the conditioning. So it's the way you're behaving is a result of the conditioning. So you receive this information which aligned you to explore a reality. And in this reality, you sifted and you sorted, and you released what didn't serve you, and you claimed what did serve you. And then you came up with an understanding of who you are. But that's all based on the information you received to begin with. So we are clearing everything. Everything. A complete reset. So even the conclusions you came up about life and the universe, zip, reset. Because that was all based on the information and the experiencing you had when you were in the unawakened frequency. The beautiful, vibrant being you are, which you have come to flourish into through all the challenges and the healing, that was the land of the caterpillar. So you evolved into the most beautiful, authentic caterpillar. But the caterpillar took it a step forward and said, now I'm going to even break barriers and going to be a butterfly. But as a butterfly, none of that history, that work, that stuff, none of it is applicable. And that is why Source is saying it is a hard reset. So that you are simply reborn on earth again, an infant, not knowing a thing, and starting from scratch to explore these spaces. But now you are centered within Source. So what you explore now offers you Source. So it is deep wisdom. It is deep wisdom. You are this channel of deep wisdom from your soul. So you're not this vapid vessel. No, not at all. You have an emptiness because you're no longer allowing yourself to be clouded by illusion. But within that emptiness, that nothingness, you are receiving pure source energy, and you're allowing that to manifest your physical reality. Powerful. So it is a shift. It is a different way of being, this lightness and yet depth of source. So allow yourself to be shown how you are, how you be. And just be patient and gentle with yourself as you sift and sort. And Source is saying, don't worry, everything, your desires, your innermost, that feeling of how you want to feel, let that be your guidance. Don't let the shape of it be. Let the feeling of that which you feel, the life you wish to live, the feeling of how it feels to be in that place, how it feels to be in that space, how it feels to be around that person. Let the feeling be the guidance, because that's your source. The source knows the feeling of your love, the feeling of your happiness, the feeling of your abundance, the feeling of it all, how it looks like, who it is, when it is, how and why it is, that is to be literally manifest before your eyes for you to discover, not for you to already know beforehand. And this is the reset work that's happening, okay, to allow you to really break free from the conditioning. Okay, Lionsgate, Leo season, the strength card in the tarot is all about conditioning, releasing the conditioning in order for your solar plexus, your action, to take the action of source. And that is really coming into a huge amplification and magnification of healing during this Leo season. And this Lionsgate portal isn't playing games. So allow yourself to be an openness, a gentility, in order for you to flow with these divine healing energies and not to be resistant to them. Okay. Let us see. And should you flow, it's great. It really is great. And it's abundant and it's wonderful. But should you be in resistance, you still will receive, of course, things because you've done the work, but it's tumultuous and it's stressful and it's anxiety ridden. And Source is saying quite clearly, you do not need to be anxious and stressed anymore. You've done the work. So let go. Just really, it's a deep let go of you now. It's a deep let go of you, of who you think you want to be, of who you thought you would be, but embracing who and what you truly are. And you'll be amazed at how it's actually going to bring everything you've ever wanted. It's just that you're no longer manipulating how the physical does it. You're allowing the physical to take the shape organically, and you simply play within the organic manifestation of it. Okay. Okay, thank you, Source, for brought us a fascinating visual. Look at this vessel of yours, okay? Your soul manifested it in divine perfection to that which it wished to be, regardless of the healing you came. Okay, Source is saying yes. Some of you beautiful beings are on the healing journey of transgender energies, where you are literally morphing and shape-shifting into a vessel that aligns with you, and that is a powerful healing you're on. So we do not speak of that kind of we're not touching on that at this time. We are simply saying that when you come into this physical form, you do not really come through and then nose here, eyes here. Your soul manifests this vessel, right? Within accordance to the healing and the lessons you will be learning, the lessons you chose to heal at this time when you came through. It is not something you almost had control over. And they're wishing you to have the same outlook now on what's coming forward. Releasing that control and rather stepping into the frequency and learning from there, and trusting however you learn, whatever you learn from that frequency is within the frequency that serves you now, that aligns with you now, because now we've broken through the barrier of illusion and condition and restriction, which is what we're healing, right? In all of our lessons, including transgender, it is allowing a complete freedom and liberation for each and every single one of us to align to the existence we feel is harmonious to who and what we are. And that is the healing of the Piscean, or of the illusion, where we are programmed to be a certain way, and we're saying, no, we can be any which way, which is resonant and feels in harmony, feels love to that which we are. Yes? And it is a feeling, it is a knowing. I'm not doing this in order to prove a point. It is a feeling, it is a knowing, it is a truth. And in the Aquarian realm, this is a realm now that is completely transformative, where the truth is. And so the struggles that you might have had in the Piscean realm to live your authentic truth in the Aquarian realm, it's dissipating, where now your presence and however you be is accepted, is is taken on by the energies, by the frequencies, by the physical realm of creation and manifestation. And so you are now to witness the truth of your soul manifest now in clarity. Fascinating. Okay. That is a very long opening message. We didn't expect that, so thank you for each and every single one of you having patience. We try to keep these spirit checks short, but this one is going to be a bit of a long one. And we have been quite tongue-tied these days, so we understand it must be some sort of reintegration of energies. But it has been quite funny to communicate these last few days. Feel like we are receiving a lot faster than we are able to speak. Okay, let us pull some tarot. At the center of the reed, you have the Queen of Cups. Whew. Okay, we have the Eight of Cups within. We have the Sun. Look at that Leo energy, the Sun, existence, the physical, honoring you to completion, to wholeness, to fullness. The Hermit, Virgo energies. Ooh, a lot of upgrades and light codes of this reading. The Hanged Woman. No longer, you see, no longer suspending to self, no longer denying and postponing self. That's what we meant. And then the King of Swords beneath. Okay. Moon, yes. Okay, and the Moon that follows the King of Swords underneath. So said to bring through. Saw the Moon shining. Some Piscean energy. Okay, here we are. From the illusion to clarity, from the illusion to illumination, right? The Piscean energy awakened is clarity, is illumination. The two fish swimming in the shadow, one in the shadow, one in the light, one in spirit, one in physical, but free, no longer restricted in the fish bowls of conditioning, but rather now in the oceans of source, free to explore and free to navigate, and free now for you to explore all the realms of spirit freely, allowing all that knowledge and that wealth of energy to come through. And then as you are swimming now in the physical, allowing the physical to take the shape of it freely and fluidly, not deciding what lies at the depth of the ocean, but rather discovering it as you swim to that place, to that corner. And that is the power, the illumination, the clarity of the Moon energy. That's why it brings manifestation in the tarot. You're manifesting that which is truly within the depths of your soul into the physical realm, with the King of Swords being within clarity, within intuition, within wisdom, within openness, within authentic creation, within truth. So you are really to be aligned within Source. And look, it's Source is saying, look, that Moon energy, right, divine feminine energy, you are receiving from the unknown, receiving from the unknown. And that's where your clarity lies. It's not you overthinking and calculating and trying to problem solve. It's you being present within Source. This is the energy which you are to embody. This is the energy now coming through. Remember, the King of Swords, your soul is now the action energy. Your soul is now the doing energy. And in the physical, we are receiving from Source, from the shadow, from the spirit, from the unknown. And we're stepping into the physical in order for it to manifest in the sun, in the light, in the physical, the moon and the sun. The alchemy. Okay. And the only way you can then allow this to be at harmony is for you to embody the Queen of Cups energy. Self-care, self-nurture, self-love, gentility. Because what you are guided to, where you are being guided to, your Source is guiding you to spaces, energies, and frequencies which guarantee that you are within love, care, and nurture. You're finally looking after yourself. You're finally aligning with manifestations, experiences, collaborations, co-creations that benefit you, that nourish you, that sustain you, that look after you, that care for you, that tend to you, that see to you. No longer neglect, no longer neglectful energies, no longer energies that displace you, that suppress you, that restrict you, that limit you. This is powerful energies, empowering energies, loving energies, tendering energies. You are to walk paths which really nourish and care for you and tend to you. And that's what your soul is doing. Your soul is navigating all the different options you could possibly live in this physical realm, and is choosing the paths with the highest love, the highest care, the highest nurture. That's how Source is saying, trust where we're guiding you to. We know it feels like you are doing things upside down, inside out, the wrong direction, no clue what's happening. Are you up? Are you down? Are you there? We don't know what's going on. And so saying, fantastic, because when you don't know, it means you're not going to try and figure things out. You're not going to stubbornly, charge down there in this not knowing. The only thing you can do is center to Source. And as you center to Source, you can feel. And in that feeling, and you step into that feeling, that path you're stepping into, as you step into the feeling of Source, it's the Source, it's the feeling, it's a path rather, that is built, which is manifest of love, care, and nurture. We in this physical realm, remember, beautiful beings, the conditioning doesn't teach us how to truly look after ourselves and to care for us. Okay, it's an unknown frequency. Only now in our later years do we all learn how to actually care for ourselves and tend to our needs, right? It is not something that when we were growing up in our childhood experiences, it's not something, I mean, maybe a few of you were on a soul journey where you were able to receive that kind of energy in your upbringing, but most of us, because of the healing that we had to do here, the energies we received weren't really energies to nurture self-care, self-love. It was all about for presentation. Do this for presentation, so that you are polite, so that you are, you reflect well for the family, so that you know your place. It was all about presentation, how you present yourself. It was nothing to do with honoring your love and caring for you. So these are elements and energies we are still becoming accustomed to as you're now healing and loving and learning to create within your truth. So your Source, but that's where your Source always is, which is why your Source is saying, let us lead you down these paths, because we know these paths well. You are yet to discover them on earth as a human. And so they're very unfamiliar to you. And you, the good things and the comfort zones that you know, which have been familiar to you, are still built in the absence of this care, this love, this nurture, which we know well, which we are born of, which we are source of. So we are guiding you down paths you know not yet. You are about to know them, and the only way you can know them is by, yes, following blindly, but not the blind recklessness of the illusion, but the blind trust, the surrender, the true sight of Source, which is you are not using reference points of the physical, what's being done, to navigate your space forward. You are allowing Source to navigate the space forward, and as you open your eyes, it manifests into your Source, and that is where you are co-creating in. And that's the difference. So it is resetting how you trust, where you trust, from the trust being, from the physical being responsible for the trust and the ease, and you, the Source within you, the truth of you, being responsible for the ease and the trust and the surrendering of your frequencies. You are really being shown how to recognize paths of self-care, self-love, self-nurture. And the only way you can do that is by allowing a teacher to guide you down those paths. And your soul, Source, is that teacher. So don't fight the direction from within. Because within, here we are, Source is saying, we're moving on. This is the realm of the caterpillar. And yes, some of these cups were great. Some of these cups were awful. So you're very happy to move on from some of them, but some of them you don't want to move on at all because it's become a comfort zone, it's become familiarity. And so saying yes, but that familiarity is born of the illusion. It's not true. And now it's time for you to move on to the butterfly, where you exist, where you are seen, where you are present, where you are shining fully and brightly. Divine manifestations, beautiful miraculous events, beautiful outcomes. Now as the physical honors you completely, as now you blossom into the fullness of that which you truly are. And look, even the sun's third eye is open, intuitive. The physical follows source within. And you're moving on to such beautiful places, out of the desert into that sacred oasis, the oasis of your soul, the heaven you are born of. So crowning, source is saying, you're feeling like, oh, but you know, I feel like, I don't know, I want to move forward, but I'm not sure, I don't know, but it almost feels like you're suspended, and source saying, this is coming through, this is becoming healed, okay? The hermit, your solo path within is the path that guides you to your stability, your destined star. So when you are trying to navigate by what's familiar, by looking at the physical for these reference points, you feel restricted because it feels like you have been paused, you have been suspended. And so saying the only suspension, the only pause is simply because you are being recalibrated to your highest frequency of creation. So yes, things are a little bit slow at this time, but trust. Things are a little bit up in the air, and that's where we want them to be, so that you can be light and trusting of source. And trusting of source, because that's the path. The hermit, you are the center path. Only you. You see, no longer having the external reference point. You are the only reference point. And look, the shadow, dressed in black. You are the only reference point to your life, to the steps you are taking. Source within you. The only guide you are following. The only intuitive feeling you are feeling. You are simply just aligning and trusting source. And soon we will be one with that energy. Soon you will be one with that source energy, and it won't feel like this external frequency guiding, but rather you are one in unison with this energy. And that is what we're healing ourselves to be source creator, to be spirit creator, to be our soul manifesting and exploring this physical realm in truth, in clarity, in expression, in the fullness of you. Okay, so it's a powerful time. That Lionsgate portal is strong. The Leo season this year is strong. Every Leo season we are always healed to our authentic expression, but this Leo season in 2027, 2023, which is the year of 7, 2023 goes to a 7, which is balancing to source. The Leo season, like all the seasons we've been feeling, right? It's been intense lessons this year, but liberating, not like last year, which was a lot of release and a lot of balancing, and the year before, which was just a whole purge. This year is a release, but bringing beautiful alignment. Why? We are balancing to source. The 7 is a spiritual number, balance and harmony to source, okay? So the Leo energies, the Leo season is balancing to source, which means zero conditioning and complete alignment to the expression of source in this physical realm. So be open to that energy, especially this week with the Lionsgate opening on this Friday, on the 28th, and it'll be with us until the 12th of August, and the peak, of course, on the 8/8 portal, which is powerful and beautiful and magnificent, just as you are. Blessed be.